Every real estate story is different. Some are simple, a move across town, a quick, easy sale, super easy closing, but others are anything but ordinary. This year, in 2025, our team has helped dozens of families right here in Greenville, South Carolina, navigate some of the most unique, out-of-the-box real estate situations you can imagine. From probate sales to off-market investor deals, from elderly homeowners that are downsizing properties, packed wall-to-wall with belongings. At Rucker Associates, we don't just sell homes, we solve problems. We're the team that you want to call when things are a bit complicated, when emotions are high, and when you need people who can get the job done. So today, I want to share with you a few stories, real Greenville families that show how our team goes the extra mile to make life's biggest transitions a little bit easier. Now, I am Mark Rucker, and I am your hometown realtor. So my goal is to always be the most informative outlet for you in the upstate of South Carolina, and also to be your trusted resource for the most dependable and up-to-date information. I want to be reliable, also want to be relatable. So if you are within 100 days of relocating to our area, or just in the thinking about it stage, y'all, that's okay. Go ahead and contact me from my email and phone number below, and I would love to be your hometown realtor. Also, subscribe below and comment below. We would love to hear your thoughts about our Greenville, South Carolina area. And also, if you're a seller in the area, you want to contact us as well, we'd love to help you. We want to be your resource to all things Greenville. It is our goal on the Rucker Associates real estate team to be your go-to for Greenville real estate. So back to the real life stories. So our first story started with a baby boomer couple, and they lived on 3 acres way out in the country, beautiful piece of property, but over time it had become too much, just too much to keep up with. The husband's health actually was declining, and upkeep on all that land was just overwhelming. So they needed to downsize into a smaller one-level home closer into town. So selling and moving at the same time for this couple felt impossible. They were worried about being homeless between closings or being forced to move twice. Yeah, that's not fun. So on the Rucker Associates team, we crafted a custom plan that worked around their health and their timing. We actually sold their first property, but negotiated a post-closing possession, meaning they could stay after closing until the new home was ready. It worked out great. So the transition went really smooth, stress-free, and perfectly timed. They moved directly into their new home without rushing, and the husband didn't have to lift a single box and was not stressed out. He also could watch TV until the very last second before moving. Now that is what we love most. Not just getting the deal done, but also making it work for the people involved. So this next story is a pretty wild one. 2 siblings living in 2 different states inherited a home here in the Greenville area. So the house had been neglected for many, many years, a full-on hoarder house, floor to ceiling with stuff, and in need of major repairs. So they didn't know where to start, had no idea, and didn't know if they should fix it up, didn't know if they should list it as is. To make things worse, once we got into the process, we discovered, unfortunately, a title defect. So our team coordinated everything from start to finish, a full clean-out crew, local probate attorney, and a network of trusted investors. We handled the title issue directly with the attorney, and once cleared, we sold the home off market to a real estate investor, saving the siblings time and stress. They never had to travel to Greenville one time. The home sold quickly, the legal issues were resolved, and both walked away relieved, and also grateful that someone local could handle all that heavy lifting. Another inheritance story, but this one is very different, or a little bit different twist. So the sellers, one in South Carolina, and also the other seller was across the pond. They inherited a home locally in a great neighborhood. Had really good bones, but did need repairs, need upgrades, and had a house full of valuable furniture. So the seller wasn't sure whether to sell this as is or invest in making improvements. So we provided honest advice and gave them a lot of different options. We connected them with a trusted estate sale company, and that company sold all their furniture, then brought in a vetted contractor to handle all the renovations, from flooring to paint to lighting and upgrades to add major value. So once listed, the home sold quickly, sold for top dollar, and the seller made a very strong return on investment. And actually, the seller told us, I couldn't have done this without your team's connections here in the area. Y'all, that is the power of having a network of trusted professionals, from contractors to estate experts, who can turn any situation into a success story. So real estate can be quite emotional, especially in tough life transitions like divorce. So a husband and a wife in the middle of a divorce. The wife had already moved out of this house. The husband was still living in the home. And the property was in pretty good shape, but it did have some obstacles. So there was no flooring in a few rooms, had some safety issues, had a broken HVAC system. So these repairs do make it tough for many traditional mortgage loans to actually qualify. So we advised the sellers on the right pricing strategy, positioned the property for the right buyer. We marketed it as is to all the investors, cash-ready buyers. So our team managed every showing, and we also had multiple offers on the property and also multiple emotions. So the home sold quickly, very smoothly, without any drama, no delays. Both parties were able to move on, close that chapter of life, and just have that peace of mind. So that's one of the most rewarding parts of our job, helping people find closure when life just feels a little uncertain. One of the most memorable stories this year was actually helping a sweet elderly woman. She needed to sell her 4,500 square foot home sitting on 20 acres of land. The property absolutely beautiful, but just way too much to maintain. The home was dated, and she was ready to move somewhere a little more simple. With such a large property right in the middle of new developments, it wasn't your average listing. So traditional buyers really weren't the right fit, but we knew investors and developers would actually see the value in this property. So using our off-market connections, we presented this property to a lot of trusted investor partners. Within a very short time, we had multiple interested buyers, and she was able to sell without ever putting this on the market. It worked out beautifully. She sold her 20-acre property at a fantastic price. We actually moved her into a very comfortable one-level home that she absolutely loves. The best part, she didn't have to deal with showings, open houses, or any of that stress that's involved. And here's a fun one to end on. So 2 bonus deals. We actually sold 2 homes on the same street very close to each other, each with its own challenge. The first one was another hoarder home filled floor to ceiling with stuff. This seller was also elderly, could not manage the clean out whatsoever. So we sold the home as is, belongings and everything, and we actually arranged a clean out company post-closing to remove all the remaining items. The second home we sold on the same street, this was an out-of-state seller who just wanted it sold quickly. We handled everything from cleaning to showings to paperwork and to closing without them ever having to come back into town. Both homes sold quickly and smoothly, and both sellers walked away completely stress-free. We don't just sell houses, we solve problems on the Rucker Associates real estate team. Now, one of these stories is different, but they all have one thing in common: people who needed help navigating very complex situations. And that, y'all, is where the Rucker Associates team actually thrives. We specialize in working with the unordinary. Any condition, any situation, as is or top quality, we've got the team, we've got the network, and we have the experience to get the job done. From probate attorneys to contractors to estate sale professionals to clean out crews, we are the one-stop shop for every kind of real estate challenge you can possibly imagine. So whether you're here in Greenville or you're across the country, if you have a home that needs selling, we are going to tailor the solution. We're going to manage the process. We're going to make sure it's handled the right way. Just let us know. We'd love to help. If you're facing a tricky real estate situation, if that's an inheritance, downsizing, divorce, off-market opportunity, go ahead and reach out to us. We'd love to help write your next success story.